Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Steve Callaway, Steve Callaway 1 on YouTube, and we're here with Angelina Jordan. Good morning, diamond shining bright. July 22nd, 2025, that is a Tuesday. And we've got some great new stuff that just came out today on Grandma Mary's Mosarz M site on TikTok. Let's go ahead and watch them. I'm going to play them in succession. I do talk a little bit in each video. One of them I got a little carried away, I got to say, but you know, maybe you'll enjoy it, maybe you won't. Hope you do. And as a matter of fact, I talk a lot about the third one in particular. And if you have any, if you feel like you would like to, just you can leave a comment on about what your thoughts are on the whole thing. Anyway, let's go ahead and get busy. We'll watch the four of them, then I'll talk to you at the end. Let's do it. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. It's Steve Callaway here. Steve Callaway 1 on YouTube. I'm up in the top right-hand corner. And this is another writing by Mary Zamani, Mosarz. Let me read this for you. 12 Songs, One Heart for Angelina's September album by Mosarz. I saw you by the window where light drips through the leaves and silence sings through your gaze. For a moment, the world forgot to breathe. From the hush of years, from nights where your voice was a hidden flame, you return now with 12 stories, each one jazz, each one love, each one you. September 9th, the calendar won't know what's truly arriving, but hearts will. An album is coming that will turn silence into tears and tears into flight. Oh, Mary, you got away with words, Mary. Excitement's building, I can tell you that. There's a lot of chatter about the album, and everybody's looking forward to it, especially me. I know there's quite a few others that are really looking forward to it. So that is a wonderful poem expressing how Mary feels about, well, it's actually what I think is it's what our reaction is going to be. Mary has a way of capturing things that are so hard to capture because it's hard to put them into words. So she puts them into an art, like any kind of piece of art that we can appreciate and not necessarily understand completely what it is, but understand enough to know that it touches our heart and our soul, right? All right, guys, let's move on to the next video. Thanks for watching. By the way, this was posted, 23 hours ago. So this is an old one. It's almost a day old. But I got more. Let's go watch. Hello everybody, we're back here with our second video for today. This one is another, it isn't signed by Grandma Mary, but who else would it be, right? Well, it could be anybody in this family because there's also talented. Anyway, let me read this for you. I'm sure it's going to be difficult to read on a small phone or whatever. You're coming. With a crown made of melody, a cloak woven from dreams, barefoot on a stage that's waited centuries for you to awaken autumn. You come to stir the hearts of lovers, to let your voice lift the veils from sleeping souls, and call the leaves into a crimson gold dance. As you begin to sing, September bows in reverence, and the world, hand over heart, pauses to witness how a girl with nothing but her voice can rewrite the seasons. Angelina, barefoot sovereign of song, your voice is the crown you wear, and with it, you'll light the world anew. I just said it in the last video. Grandma Mary has a way of capturing how we feel about Angelina, probably almost all of us, have similar feelings, but articulating it is a whole different thing. Because I don't know about you guys, but I would never have considered myself to be a overly feeling kind of a person. I mean, I had feelings, but like I've told this story before, if even at sad occasions like a funeral, if they were looking for somebody to do a reading or something like that, I would get picked most of the time because I could do it. I would just basically, Angelina says she goes into a different world, a happy place when she sings her songs. Well, I used to go into a more of a stoic place. And just, to me, I was looking for, it was something that I had to do and I had to accomplish it, reasonably well. So I took it as a challenge. But it wasn't, for me, a lot of times, it really wasn't that emotional. It was just, it's like being at work, you just methodically get things done. And I was able to pull that off. Now, sometimes, depending on how close the person was to me, it was hard. I got choked up, but I tried not to show it. But, so what does Mary do? Mary writes, she tells us right here. It's, let me read it to you again. You're coming with a crowd made of melody. A crown, made of melody. A cloak woven from dreams. Barefoot on stage that's waited centuries for you to awaken autumn. You come to stir the hearts of lovers, to let your voice lift the veil from sleeping souls, and call the leaves into crimson golden dance. It's that one in particular, to stir the hearts of lovers. You come to stir the hearts of lovers. Yeah, you guys have all experienced love and the power of love with someone that you feel like is your soulmate or your partner or whatever you want to call it nowadays. But we've all experienced that before, and it's very powerful. To let your voice lift the veil from sleeping souls. That's me. I was a sleeping soul until I heard Angelina for the very first time back 9 years ago with I Put a Spell on You. I was a joker. I didn't take much of anything very serious. And that's not the same thing as having emotion. Matter of fact, on more than one occasion, I know I had a wife or two that never appreciated the fact that I laughed and made jokes of everything. Everything's a joke to you, isn't it? Yeah, well, yeah, it is. I couldn't deny it. But I wasn't trying to make fun of anybody. I was just trying to me, some certain things are very absurd. And I laugh at that because it seems so weird to me. But anyway, so lift the veil from sleeping souls. I was a sleeping soul. I was caught in that way of interacting with the world. And Angelina lifted the veil up for me, and now I feel things. Now I not only think of myself, but I think of others. Sometimes when I am interacting with people, what goes through my mind is I want to treat them at least as good or better than I would want to be treated myself. The golden rule. And and I've always known the golden rule, and I've tried to live by it, but there was times I wasn't very successful. So let's move on here. As you begin to sing September Bows in Reverence, yep, I'll go along with that. And the world, hand over heart, pauses to witness how a girl with nothing but her voice can rewrite the seasons. Isn't that the truth? I've said this before too on a lot of videos. Michael Jackson, great dancer, performer, show person, showman, whatever you want to call him. Elvis Presley, same thing. Really great voice, but he's, mostly, he put on a show, a really good show. Just a little food for thought. I looked up the other day, it was actually have to do with Whitney Houston, but I was looking up if Whitney Houston had ever written any of her songs. And the answer to that was she co-wrote a couple of songs, but most of her songs are written for her. Same thing with Elvis, same thing with Michael Jackson. What does that say? It doesn't really say too much of anything. I guess you could appreciate the creativity it takes to take somebody else's song and somebody else's lyrics and turn it into something that you can make the world feel. But Angelina writes a lot of her own songs. The new album, I think, is all her own stuff. And that is somewhat unique, especially amongst the higher tier singers of the past. So let's move on here. And Angelina, Barefoot Sovereign of Song. You know, we've called her the Barefoot Princess. I've called her the Goddess of Song, the Sovereign of Song. That sounds pretty cool. I think I like that a lot. Your voice is the crown you wear. Yep. And with it, you'll light the world anew. Yep. Already been doing that, Angelina. at least for some of us. Yeah, that's great. Okay, well, I won't drag this out any longer. It's so interesting. If you look at it line for line, there's stuff in it. Every line has something in it that is a little bit profound in my mind. All right, guys. See you on the next video. Bye-bye. Okay, hello, everybody. Steve Callaway here again, and we're here with another writing by Mary Zamani, Mosarz. And this one has at the bottom 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dots. I don't know if there's 6 pages of the writings or if it's something else on those dots, but I don't know. First time I've seen the video. I don't know anything about it. So I'll read this for you, and then we'll move on page by page or dot by dot. I wish. Lyrics by Mosarz, Mary Zamani. I wish I could ignore the night, pull back the veil of wind, and rise, weightless, nameless, a secret shimmer in the hollow of being. I wish I could feel our restlessness in the middle of the road, where longing hadn't learned its name yet. I wish I could arrive with no destination, not a passerby, not a face about to leave, just a presence, soft and full, bringing the light of morning in my silence. That's page 1. Let's go see what the next dot brings us. Okay, oops. See what happens? No, don't do that. Don't do that. Sorry, guys. I think I have it stopped and then it goes. I think it's stopped now. No gate to cross, no return to promise, no hope, no sorrow. Just a dream lost between sunrise and forgetting. I wish I could whisper secrets in sleep, not to speak them, but to trace them along the branches of something trees, still trees. I wish the pulse of the trees beat inside my earrings, and every day became a mirror to see myself in you. I wish you had stayed, and I, in the dark, would draw a new map for light. Mary, man, she's got the words. Next page. I wish I didn't know the night so well, and the wind didn't always mean goodbye. I wish I didn't know what restlessness was, so my heart wouldn't feel so hollow halfway down the road. I wish my arrival didn't need a reason, a promise, a word. Just arrive, simple, like a tear from your eye falling on land that hasn't tasted rain in years. I didn't want a gate. Didn't need return, sorry. Just a hand that stays without saying, I'll leave. Okay, we'll move on to page 4. I wish I could shout the secrets, not into the night's ear, but onto the bark of a forgotten tree on a forgotten street. The tree's pulse would match your earrings, and I'd finally understand why we stay and why some never do. I wish you had stayed so I could, in the dark, reinvent myself again. Hey, Mary, you're poking around in some some spots in me that haven't been poked around in before. Okay, let's move on to the next page. I wish I didn't know the name of night and the wind were just a leaf without a question. In the hollow of being, something soft stirred, perhaps a dream of a bird who hadn't yet met its wings. My hands slid over a nameless road, and my heart was lost among the grasses. No sound, no destination, only a light falling gently from the shoulder of a quiet tree into my breath. Mary, you're a special lady. Last page. Oops. Oh, man. There we go. Sorry about that. I couldn't read the very top line, and you probably can't even see it, but I can read it now. Let's go. I wished to say, I don't want to go, but the tree spoke another language, and I couldn't speak it. The pulse of the leaves beat in my ears, and silence walked beside me in your place. I stood by an open window you had left before the breeze could say goodbye. I wish I knew what staying meant, what it means not to leave, and how to sleep inside a simple, bright gaze. But the world was passing through, and I still remember the smile of the first tree. There's an interesting dynamic in Angelina's grandmother's Mary's writings that I just happened to notice. Some of what she says doesn't necessarily seem to make a lot of sense to me. But then after a moment of reflection, it makes perfect sense. How is that? I stood by an open window, and you had left before the breeze could say goodbye. You know, when I read it, I was thinking, what does that mean? But now I think about it, yeah, I know exactly what it means. People leave in many different ways and for many different reasons. Sometimes you could look at somebody leaving for a short period of time, leaving the room or leaving the house to go somewhere, something like that. Or it could be more permanent or longer term. You had left before the breeze could say goodbye. To me, the breeze is, I stood by an open window and you had left the breeze before the breeze, or you had left before the breeze could say goodbye. So the breeze comes in the window, and you know how it is when you have a window open. There's a little breeze comes in and kind of helps circulate the air in the house, make things a little fresher, a little crisper sometimes, before the breeze could say goodbye. Then it dissipates, and you're waiting for the next breeze. I wish I knew what staying meant, what it means not to leave, and how to sleep inside a simple, bright gaze. I wish I knew what staying meant, what it means not to leave, and how to sleep inside a simple, bright gaze. You know, something in my lifetime, I think I have a bit of a kinship with this one. That I'm one of those kind of people that's the last one to abandon ship. I'd rather help everybody else off the ship, and then I'll take my chances, whatever they may be. And some of that's a sense of self-reliance I've had since I was a little kid. I was always adventurous, and I got myself into all kinds of fixes, and I was able to figure a way out. So I had a fair amount of confidence in my ability to do all kinds of things I had never done before, but I knew I could handle it. The only area where I have continually and constantly failed is relationships with significant others, my wives. I've been married 3 times and divorced 3 times. And I feel bad about that. And I know it can't be them, it's got to be me. Because I'm the one that struck out. I struck out. I struck 3 times. I swung the bat. And I'm out, Now I'm 70 years old, and I may find a lady that wants to be a companion of mine, as I move into my twilight years. But I've tried to recognize that it's not. To me, it's very seldom just the other person. It takes 2. I wish I knew what staying meant. Well, I stayed. Kinda. Looking back on my life, I like to think that I stayed. And what it means not to leave. Yeah, well, I've been on both sides of that right there. It's how to sleep inside a simple, bright gaze. I'm not too sure what that one means, but I guess it means to be at peace when someone that apparently you care about is looking at you. That's what I think, but I'm not sure how close I am. What Mary meant, or maybe Mary just writes it and everybody gets their own meaning from it too. Okay, well, I took too long on this one. I'm sorry to take all your time, but this is too interesting not to talk about. All right, guys, let's move on to the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Okay, welcome back, everybody. This is our 4th and final video for today. This is only about 14 seconds long. I'm reading a few of the comments over here. Steve Monaco says, "Look at her go! How can she run in that dress?" Laugh out loud. Yeah, I know. I can't see what she's wearing, but yeah, it does look like a dress from a distance. Another comment from Monaco. An angel running down the road. Never thought I'd see that in my lifetime. Much love to you all forever. Agile Ted. Juliette is impressive, running faster than a Bentley downhill in a dress and heels. Well, I guess we know what she's wearing now. Steve Ackerman. Juliette 1, rolls 0. Victor. Run, everybody. Here comes Angelina driving the rolls. Henry says, so funny. Rick LaFleur. Ha ha ha, right on. Alan Nicholson 0007. I used to think I could run 30 miles an hour too. Oh, well, we better watch this now that we heard all the comments. There's Mama. There's Mama Sarah at the end. I would have to think she'd have to be a little concerned that Juliette is able to run in a dress and those heels. And I'm sure she wants to be on the scene in case anything goes wrong. Like Juliette falls down and, something like that. I'm not afraid Angelina's going to run over Juliette unless she's in the car singing. And sometimes she does hand motions, usually only with one hand. But I'm sure that Angelina would be very careful because it's her sister who she loves more than almost anything. I think she also loves her grandma and her mother and Uncle Mike and Aries and Athena. A lot of love for that family going around. And not only is Juliette, run along there at a pretty good clip, but watch her when I run this again. She's got some style. I mean, she's got like a posture and all that. Must have just been a goofy thing they decided to do and make a quick TikTok about it. Okay, guys. Well, that's our videos for today. I hope you enjoyed them all. Sorry if I dragged out the poems and the writings a little bit too much. I guess I was in a contemplative mood. Okay. All right. You have a good one. We'll see you. Tomorrow. I'm making this video for the 22nd, which is going to be Tuesday. And I'll see you again on Wednesday. Bye-bye. Yeah, lots of good stuff today, man. I'll tell you. They're all three of the writings are fabulous, if you ask me. They're fantastic. And, of course, Juliette outrunning the cars in a dress and high-heeled type of shoes is just amusing, I guess, for whatever. I don't know why they were doing it. It must have just been a thing they decided to do. So there you go. That's what we got for July 22nd, 2025. It's the only one you're ever going to have. And we're trying to kick you off with a good start. And hope this is a video that you enjoyed immensely. We will see you on the next video, which will be July 23rd, a Wednesday. Bye-bye.